This is Shana with Growthward Consulting, and I am here with Chase Delperdang and Josh Wright. Chase is a consultant with Growthward, and Josh is a client that we hired. When did you join us, Josh? Probably in the last 6 months, year?
It's been about 6 months.
Yeah.
I toward the beginning of 2021. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And when you and I first met, you were in the middle of some huge transition and, in the middle of a crazy market. And I love the story we're about to tell about your business because I'm huge on balance. Like, what's the balance in life? It can't all be about business, and what's it all for? And I love the story of how you and Chase have just crushed it on the balance and your passion and still crushing it in your business. And I'm going to mention one thing in case it never comes up again in this conversation. But the thing I love most about you is no matter what, whenever I called, anytime, any place, I never once got your voicemail. You answer the phone every stinking time it rings. And I don't think that's just me. Like, it's not just because it's me calling. Like, it's just this super talent that you have. And I know it's part of the secret sauce to your success. But I want to mention it because I think it's rare in this business. And I've always loved that about you.
Thanks. Yeah, I definitely try to pick up the phone. I actually got that from, I think her name's Jade Mills. I might be wrong on that, but they call her like the $4 billion woman. And it's her goal in Beverly Hills to return every call within 20 minutes, like to make everyone feel like they're important. And that I definitely try to pick up the phone, but I got that from her and I was like, okay, I'd already been doing that. And that helped establish that actually makes people feel valued.
Yep. Yeah, it does. I mean, you do that. It's special. Yeah, it does. So Chase, I remember I called you and I was like, I got this guy and I need you to talk to him. And there's just something about his energy, and so I'm gonna let you take it from there.
Yeah. So had the pleasure of getting to know Josh, and really, I think just his passion and heart for others and serving others as well, outside of just the real estate realm, but life ministry, involvement in church, whatnot, and a lot of similarities there. So Josh, talk to us a little bit about that overview of how you took the dive into real estate and what the first couple years look like, and what that looks like now within your business.
Sure. I was watching the Olympics and I saw a male gymnast Olympian. His name's Alex Nador. He was on Team USA, and I was watching that. I was in my apartment at the time, really close to Music Row, and I had the thought, I was like, if he can do world-class gymnastics and real estate, then I can do world-class music and real estate. And so seeing someone do two things really well was encouragement for me to give real estate a shot. Shortly after that, and just to backtrack a little bit before that, I had been on a TV show. I had 2 management deals. I was making a living. Like, I could feed myself from singing and coaching voice and all the things that come along with music. That's what my degree's in at Belmont. So I'd made a career of it, but not something that had really catapulted in a way that I had hoped at the time. And so I was starting to readdress and take a look at things. And so I was open to another path, if you will. And so shortly after that, I was actually tying strings. I was serving at church for something. I was tying strings on little pieces of twigs, and we were giving them out in the bulletins to everybody. And I was just serving. And like, one guy was like, hey, I'm leaving Keller. He was at Keller Williams. And he was like, hey, I'm leaving this front desk to the director of first impressions job. I think you'd be great for it. Would you be interested? And so that opportunity, it was within like a month of each other. So I had that thought watching the Olympics. Then I got that opportunity. It was in real estate. So I was like, real estate. Yeah. So that's how I started. And then from there, about a year later, I got my license. I did about $7.5 million in my first year on a team. I stayed on that team for about 3 years. And fast forwarding to now, I lead the Wright group at Compass, and I lead a team. And I have 2 different agents, one who's onboarding right now. So I lead a small team, and we'll probably do 15 to 20 million this year.
Yep. Now talk a little bit about your life was consumed with music and TV show and deals and everything else. And then kind of that pendulum swung a little bit more towards real estate too after that, right? And then talk a little bit about where you're at now within the two and finding balance.
Right. I don't know if there is balance. I think there's just what's in front of you and doing it well, because at any given point of our lives, I really think that thing is going to there's going to be something that's going to take more of our time at any given point. Like the best example is a newborn. A newborn takes so much more time and energy than like a 22-year-old, in most cases, unless it's a problem child but in most cases, like whenever you start something, it takes a lot of intentional time. That's what I've learned then and now. So whenever I started real estate, I was like, I can do both really, really well. But at the beginning of it, I was just like, you know what? I'm writing deals for hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars. I've been licensed for a month, and one of my first clients was a Super Bowl client. Now I've served 2 Super Bowl clients. I was like, I stopped music because I valued people. I valued what I was doing. I was learning a new craft. It wasn't time to feel like I was building an airplane in midair. I needed to really focus. So I stopped music. That wasn't the original plan, but I did. Now I can write contracts in my sleep, and I have a team that's allowing me to have the leverage necessary to finally do what I planned on doing. But it took me 5 years to get here.
We talked about that a lot, Josh. Is you had a number in your head that once I can get to this number, it'll free me up to do everything I want to do with music. And it didn't. You hit that number and kept going and didn't immediately dive. Didn't immediately dive right back in, which was the original plan. Walk us through a little bit of that decision to pursue your passion again after building a very successful, right? People would kill to have a $20 million business every year.
Because a lot of the business was you, Josh. So even though you hit that number, like stepping away, like Chase had to help you get some serious systems and leverage in your world.
Right. And I'm still getting those systems. I'm still trying things out. I'm still getting that in place. But yes, the key is leverage. And the key is just having the right people on the right seat of the bus. That's probably more so. It's probably more so the right people.
And that's crossed both worlds for you, right? We've talked about it. A lot of our conversations more recently have been more on the life and music side. And you've said that as well, as getting the right people on the bus for music as well.
From doing both, what I can say is I think like a real estate agent. I think business. And in the music world, like most often they want like save the world answers, or like they want this embellishment. But I can remember one label meeting I went to, and they're like, so why are we here? I was like, because I want a record deal. Like, it was just like, so like, which is great in a black and white contract world. It's like, okay, we're going to get this done by March 31st. We're going to do this. And in the music world, it's so gray. It's so gray, and it's so subjective that is, I think that's been a challenge for me in some part, because I do have that business mindset. I do, but I think what I've learned in real estate, approaching it like a business, knowing ultimately it's about connecting with people, whether that's in real estate or whether that's through music. My mission statement throughout it all is to use my voice to impact others for the cause of the gospel, whether that's me talking with you today, whether that's me singing, whether that's me having a consultation. It's whatever words come out of my mouth, I value those. And that was a big key piece of, Chase, really, our consultation really had a huge impact on me, because I did start feeling very stagnant, because what I realized is that I had kept my word with other people, but not myself. I'd kept if I say I'm going to do something, I do my best to do it. I try to let my yes be yes and let my no be no. And that's not always convenient. In fact, so a lot of times it's not. There are exceptions to that. Look, we can't do 20 things at the same time, but for the most part, like if I say I'm going to do something, I do it. Yep. And I told myself, I was like, once I hit this number, which at the time was a large financial number. I was like, I'm going to do music. And then that number doubled, and I still wasn't keeping my word with myself. And so I was just like, I more or less felt like I had lied to myself because I wasn't doing what I said I was going to do. So now I'm doing it.
Yep. How do you decide what you're going to do on that day? Because again, going back to it is, you built a great business, and a majority of that is referral. Music is going well. You've got some awesome stuff coming out. A couple weeks ago, you sang at the Dove Awards. Things are moving in the right direction and gaining traction. And how do you balance a day or a week or prioritize?
How I spend my first moments of the day. That to me, like, I think that if I don't spend time in prayer, if I don't spend time in the word, if I don't take time to pause, if I don't take time to exercise, if I don't take time to read my bike, if I don't have those key things built in that I enjoy doing, that I know is helping me, I have to, and I'm still learning this, like, don't think I have it figured totally out, but I do. My goal is to serve out of abundance and not lack.
Yeah.
It's like, put your own oxygen mask on first. And I think that's some of the, like, I know Shayna, you've mentioned, like, one of the, like, the worst decision that you can make is, or one of them is, like, hire a buyer's agent before you get your administrative staff. Like, before you do that, like, why are you giving away half of your income whenever someone can help boost it? And then, but that was before training and getting the systems in order. And so, there's a certain, I do have a lot of leverage. Like, I have a contract to close coordinator. I have 2 showing specialists. I have people that help put the signs in the yard. I have a lot of leverage that a solo agent needs, but I'm still building the team leverage. I'm still exploring what that looks like. And that's what Chase has been helping with, and still what I have yet to do.
Well, and you've also got a lot of leverage on the music side as well.
Oh my gosh, yes, I do. And like, deciding what needs to be done, I have to prioritize what that day holds. Like, at first I was like, my Wednesdays are going to be my music days. And then I'm like,
look at us, we all laugh.
I was like, that's gonna be it. And I was like, just everybody's gonna know not to call me in real estate. And then every opportunity is gonna come on Wednesday. And just like, that's not real life. Real life is I am doing so much better at living. It's not a busy life. Like, Shayna joked with me earlier. She's like, I get tired watching your social media, but I think it's just every day, every week, every month, every year, what am I trying to accomplish? How do I break that down into each step right here, right now?
Yep. Get 1% better every day.
Yeah. And I can only do what I can do, and let other people. I love this. And like, one of the things, like, Growthward has helped me, like, and I'm on a lot of different calls with some really brilliant people. My brokerage at Compass in Nashville is awesome. Some of the brightest minds in our city. The calls that I'm on with Kristen Cole and with you all, it brings a level of service that I want to serve my clients with. You have a tool set that I am still learning how to use. And that, like, one of the statements, like, sometimes there will just be statements that come out that really help direct the path. Like, even with Chase, of just like, like, helping decide going into music. Like, that's definitely not what we started off planning on doing, but I was getting stagnant in it and not doing what I was going to do. And one of the things that was said on a recent call was, hand up, not off, not down, not a hand me down, like, hand it up to someone who can do that thing better. And y'all may have said it in a different way, but it really changed the way of how I hire. It changed the way of what I do with music and real estate. Is I'm looking for people that are doing that thing better than I can. So I'm handing it up instead of off or down.
And that can be a humbling experience, right? Because we we go, by doing that, I'm admitting that Shayna can do this better than I can. And
Right.
but
That's hard.
It's humbling at first, but then you see someone knock it out of the park and go like, that's exactly why we did that. You know?
I see how that could be humbling. Maybe
Yeah.
I'll have an experience that for tomorrow, like in the future. But I think my issue is just letting go to have enough of those experiences to where that's the truth. For me now, whenever I hand it off, I'm just like, "Ooh, hallelujah!" Like, I don't want another thing to do, and I'm just like, "Please don't let it fail." Like, don't let it crash and burn.
Please do not come back to me. Do not come back.
Do not come back to me with this task.
You said that with a lot of the artwork and whatnot with your CD and album cover and all that stuff. And
So
like
bad.
I joked around saying, I couldn't draw a straight stick figure, right? Like it would be one leg would be longer than the other. And you had said, I've got the artistic side, but this person does this better.
Yeah. And I'll limit what I say on that, but it is this particular release, and I've done other releases. I've been a part of other things that have been easier. This hasn't been. This has been first off, it's an over 6 minute long song. So it has a choir on it. It's just a lot more to take on. It's like double what you typically hear on the radio. So the sheer length of it, the working with people that I've never worked with, I've learned some were awful fits that I would never work with again. Some have been incredible, but it's been a lot of new and a lot of new exploration, if you will. But yeah, it hasn't been the smoothest, but it's turning out so well.
As a consumer, I can say that it hasn't been the easiest for you, but it came out freaking awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. I like how it ended, but getting there was.
Well, it's just like building your business, right? We like where it's at today, but man, getting there has been a ride.
I know. Yeah. People just see the surface. And I think so tonight, I'm planning to have a single launch party of friends and family and neighbors or friends.
And then Chase and I are flying in. We're going to
right. That'd be awesome. I wish you could.
If it's under 50 degrees.
It's amazing outside right now. Grass is green. You can walk outside barefoot if you wanted to here in Tennessee. But tonight I'm doing that. I have someone who's been helping me put the whole event together. We have Jenny's ice cream. We have pretzels. We have hot apple cider. We have live music. We have potential video stuff. We have bookmarks that have, things that they can, what are the QR codes that you can scan? It'll take you. I have a new website. I have all of those things that I've built 2 businesses this year. Like I did all that I said in real estate, like a website, branding, brand new stuff. And I didn't say this on the call yet, but in my transition period on December 18th, almost a year ago, I bought a house and I changed a brokerage and I started a team and I opened a business account. And I was like, it was a well-executed day to where all of that needed to happen on the same day. But when I make transition, this song is called Lead the Way, which is perfect of what we're talking about. Like, how do I make change? How do I make transition? Part of what I'll talk about tonight about the song is I try to be led by peace. If I start feeling anxious or off about something, I ask myself, where's this coming from? But I've learned not to be scared from the resistance, because it's going to be hard. There's going to be uphill parts of it. There are things, just because it's not easier, just because the first round of the artwork was awful, or just because the photo shoot didn't go the way I planned, or just because the mix didn't come out right, or whatever it may be, or personal things. Like there are people that I could have asked to sing a few years ago that didn't want to be a part of it this time around, whereas they did whenever I was on American Idol. So like those kind of hurts that can be underneath it all, like you don't see that. You just see finished master.
Yep.
This is the highlight reel, and even Instagram has a highlight reel, and that's really what it is, but it's not real life all the time,
Yeah.
Love it.
So, I mean, we've been talking about long enough. When we post this video, we are going to include in the comments a link to your song with your permission to your
Sure.
release. Yeah, I
Go
want to
for
share that because we've been talking about it. Like that's a big tease. We can't do that. But I again just want to thank you guys for your time. I love this story because I'm just a true believer. You know, real estate, any business, whether it be real estate
Yeah.
and any business you're in, is a vehicle to your passion and a vehicle to where you really impact the world and live out who you are and your contribution. And yeah, just watching it unfold and like on this conversation looks almost seamlessly flawless, just do the systems. But I know it's been down and gritty and dirty at times. And I'm just proud of you too. I'm proud of the relationship you have. And thank you for sharing it. Thank you for sharing. It's great testimony as to what a great coaching and accountability relationship can do in someone's life.
I agree.
Yep.
Yeah, just putting
you learn
people
all.
around you that you trust, that see a different angle or perspective that you can't see, or they've been somewhere that you want to go.
Yeah.
Or affirming.
Affirm, right? Am I crazy? We're wanting to do this, right? We're wanting to do this. Like, what's going on? But yeah, I think just keeping. I think any goal that we have, I will plug that as well. Real estate really can fund whatever goals we have. That can be a vacation, that can be time off, that can be leverage for family. That can be whatever you want it to be. For me, it happens to be Christian music right now, but it could be a 3-month vacation in Guam, you know, with my family. I mean, who knows?
I first got licensed because I knew my kids were going to need braces because they have my genes. No, braces are expensive. That's literally the reason why I got a real estate license.
I first got licensed because I thought I could have control of my schedule. I got licensed. That was my, like, I was going to have control of my schedule.
I'll take this one, Josh. So bless your heart.
That's so funny. Yeah, no, but you can manage it well. I think we don't control it, but we can certainly learn how to manage it better.
We can learn. It's been a 20-ish year process in that, but you're correct. We can learn. Awesome. So again, thank you both for your time and your testimony and for letting us share your video. I'm really excited. And just one more thing, like the first big award ceremony, do Chase and I get to be the guests? Can we come?
Oh, you absolutely.
We'd be your guests.
Yes. Yeah. Come on. You know, singing at the Doves with CC, that was a highlight that came shortly after I decided to take a step. And I think that really is a key, is just take a step and trust that if it's right, that step will establish. If it's not, then it won't. But I think it's our pride that keeps us from going forward, because like it's that fear of failure. So it's just like, take the step, it will come. And yes, to answer your question, at an awards show that I go to, hopefully you have an invite. That sounds great.
Yay! Perfect. All right, guys, have a super day. Thank you again for your time and for sharing, and we'll catch back up soon.
Awesome. See ya. Bye.
Bye.